Hey, Kool-Aid crew. Somebody give me a 5 for 5 and we'll get going here. We got a pretty big coronal hole here. It's going to be giving us some solar wind, and because of that, we are now having a geomagnetic storm watch. Yeah. So it's not a big deal, but it is space weather, and we will talk about that. So, yeah. Anyway, just want to make sure. Hey, Alyssa. Okay, good to see everybody in here, guys. Jay John. Sorry it's so late, and sorry. Yeah, I'm. Yeah, y'all know. You guys know already. So, you guys already know. Anyway, so we got this coronal hole, and we've had another eruption over here on Soho. So we will be dealing with that also. We'll talk about that a little bit. We got some interesting moon stuff here. That's pretty cool. Dr. Tony Phillips is talking about that over here. But yeah, so the name of the game right now, though, guys, is this coronal hole, right? So let me start this run up here, and we will. This is just the latest run, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of back this up some, and we're going to go over here to the home page on SDO and check this out. This is where this satellite's located, and it's in geosynchronistic orbit. And so when you scroll down, what you're going to see is it stays over this part of our planet. That's what geosynchronicity means. Geo meaning Earth, it's synced with Earth. So it's orbiting our planet at the same rate we rotate around our axis, which is 15 degrees an hour. It might have sounded like a little bit of a word salad thing there for you, but it most certainly is what's going on, and there's really no other way to kind of describe it, other than to say, hey, it stays in this pattern right here. But because of this, it has to rotate its eye, it has to rotate itself so it can continually look at the sun. But for our purposes, what we're looking at this for is for the extreme ultraviolet, which would be, let me come back over here, the AIA, whoa, I think it's on this one. Nope. Man. Anyhow, okay, let's just go back to the home. Well, yeah, let's do this. Let's go back to, I think it's, is it data? Yeah, here we go. So we'll come back over here, and what we'll do is we'll just run this for a couple days and check it out, right? We'll just take a look at it and see what's happening with it, and, we'll kind of run with that. I would like to have you guys, if you guys could, please, hey, Steven, share this out. I know this is like a 3 o'clock middle of the night thing. I get it, right? With everything going on in my life right now, today was especially just a little crazy for me. So what I'm saying is, this is not going to be like this going forward. I will be here in the evenings as much as I can, or even in the morning, that kind of a thing. I don't like posting right now. It really does suck. It sucks for everybody, unless you're a night owl like myself. And that's, when I first started this channel, guys, I was just posting edited videos, and I would do it in the middle of the night when my family was sleeping, because I didn't want to take time from my family. But at the same time, I also recognize that's just not feasible for most people. Well, thank you, Patty. Steven, you're awesome, brother. I just gotta say, man, you're on it all the time, man. I really do appreciate you. I so much appreciate you. And again, guys, I am doing a members only right after this. If you guys are interested in that, we're just gonna watch some funny videos. We watched some game show clips last night that were hysterical. So we might do that again, but we're gonna check that out anyway. So we got this right here, and this is a 3-day run here. And if you guys remember, see this dark shadow over here? That's the one that gave us, and these were actually connected at one point. See how they're kind of connected right here? They would have considered that one hole, but it seems as though it's split into two now. The corona's kind of filled back in here. And I'll be addressing exactly what a coronal hole is. I got a great question. Hey, Jonathan. Susan, what's cracking? Kathy B, Callie, Hobson, good to see everybody in here. I really do appreciate you on this late night ride with us, I guess. So when we're looking at that, this is darker because it's the sun's surface. The sun's surface is colder than the sun's atmosphere. Okay? And I got a great question, and I pinned it in the video. I think it was our last video that I did. Please go look at the pinned comment, because it's a great question. She was asking, you know, what would this thing, is it going to rotate around, more coming, and that kind of a thing? And it absolutely does. And I did explain, you know, this isn't a hole in the sun. I don't want anybody, you know, getting that confused, because it's two very different things, right? This is the atmosphere. We're looking at the corona. And the corona is made up of bunches of different gases, right? Just like the sun is. So with that being said, I'll just say this. When that corona peels back, that exposes this, the surface. So highly charged particles are able to flow out. And they get here pretty much, they get here magnetically, right? We're connected to the sun magnetically at all times. We all are. Like I like to say, if you're naked out in space, your left butt cheek would be connected to the sun magnetically. Every satellite that's out there is connected to the sun. Our connection, it's an interplanetary magnetic field line. Just our main connection is actually kind of over here. It's on the right side. Now, it's fluid, right? It moves. It doesn't stay in one exact spot. You know, everything's moving, especially with magnetics. Things move. It's not like gravity, where you've got a big centralized core mass and everything's drawn to that center, right? Magnetics are highly, it's very movable, I'll say. You know, positive, negative, they attract one another. Positive, positive, they push against each other. So it depends on the magnetic fields where you're at, what you're experiencing, where you're at, and what kind of magnetic fields are inside this coronal hole stream. Right? And we do have ways to find out what the magnetic fields are like inside the coronal hole stream. It's called the phi angle. Okay, and I'll show that to you real quick here. And I don't like staying on graphs, so I won't stay on this very long. Actually, I'm just gonna change that to 1 day. Oh, and by the way, guys, Ron texted me and was telling me he was going to use some of my content to share with you guys over on his channel, Emergency Management Associates. He always has my permission, just so you guys know. So don't think that that's anything different. Matter of fact, almost everybody has permission to use my stuff. I don't really care. You guys go ahead and use it all out each one. I would never ever. I just don't do that. It's not how I roll, guys. So anyway, the solar wind stream, the magnetic field inside that's called the phi angle, right here, and it's this data point. So when it's blue and red, obviously those are opposite polarities. So if we couple with that, right? If our BZ and all that other things are kind of just matching up, and we look for the BZ, we look for -6. That's what we look for. But yeah. So we got that going on. If that's happening, if we're at -6, we'll be more susceptible to anything coming from the sun. It's our magnetic positioning, and I'm not going to get into exactly what that is. It does take some explaining, so you guys have a full understanding. But just look for -6 for the moment here. And I've explained this in the past a bunch of times, actually. But that is one of the most important data points that we need to look at. If that's not at -6, oh, yeah, we'll just leave it at that. So yeah, so we'll just do it that way, right? Now, if it is at -6 and we got a coronal hole stream hitting, then guess what? We will be more susceptible to whatever it's, you know, throwing at us. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go over here and check out our magnetosphere. And our magnetosphere is created by the solar wind hitting our magnetic field. That's why this kind of looks like a comet going through space from right to left, right? The energy's coming from left to right from the sun. This is our bow shock. It's the first point of contact from solar wind or any kind of space weather with our magnetic field. Now, anything inside of this is under Earth's magnetic protection, whatever protection that is at that moment, right? So you'll notice that the activity typically inside our magnetosphere here is going to be a little bit calmer. That's just the way that it is. Now, you also notice when we get bigger hits, this bow shock will push all the way back to Earth. And sometimes even inside the satellite lines, those kinds of things. When those are happening, that is our bigger storms that we get. The energy does not, it's not bound by coming in on our poles, although most of it does, okay? But when we get the bigger hits, that's when you start seeing aurora down towards the equator regions, all right? That's because it's coming in through cracks in our magnetic field. So that's what's happening there. You know, magnetic field lines get broke, and then they reconnect in the back. We get pressure in the back when they reconnect. All those kinds of things that we always talk about here. But as you're looking at this, this is the velocity, right? This is speed only. This is all this is showing you, is speed. And you can look up here. Now, the darker reds are the darker reds. And they're moving from left to right. See the negative? Now, that's the highest speed this model will show, is that darkest red, right? The dark blues are moving at the exact same speed as the dark reds, just the opposite direction. See how it's the positive over here? There is no negative involved with that. And right here in the middle it says 0. So that would be your slowest wind speed here in the middle. The blue stuff is actually moving from right to left. Why is it doing that? Because those are what I'm talking about, the magnetic field lines that kind of break, and then they reconnect back here. So all the particles inside our protection are getting drawn in on that magnetic line. So we do see some speed coming that direction sometimes. And almost at all times we see pressure back here because of that. That's one of the reasons, anyway. Hey, what's up? What's up, Ron? I just, dude, you always have my permission to use my stuff, man. 100%. I'm sorry for the late response. I actually fell asleep, and I've just been exhausted, and I'm up, and I'm just trying to follow through with what I told you guys I was going to follow through with. I'm going to try to be here every day, no matter what time it is. And, you know, I'm doing a members only after this. So, guys, get over and check out Ron's channel. Ron, you can put your link in there if you need to. Okay? So, I'll just leave it at that. And you know, and I do feel kind of bad because this is 3 o'clock in the morning and everybody really doesn't expect to see me here right now. And I don't, you know, dude, I've never concentrated on the numbers. You know, yes, I look at them because it's a good indicator of how your channel is doing. I mean, anybody that's a YouTuber at all looks at that stuff. But it doesn't classify who I am and what kind of content I'm putting out, right? That sometimes it's just a matter of when you posted it, honestly, because right now it's the middle of the night. Most of the people that watch me are in bed, and I get that. So, you know, in the first hour during a video that we do, especially after it publishes, which means right after I end the live stream, it will quote unquote be published, right? And that first hour is critical to how far out your video goes. It really is. If people watch inside that hour, it'll go out further. The algorithm will catch it, and it'll start drawing people in. You know, we really don't push our stuff out into the algorithm. We're actually drawing people in because they just start to see our recommendations that they put in front of them. So if they see that, then they pull it. You know, they're going to go to that and see if they're interested in it. But I just want to give you guys a little bit of baseball there in the back. You know what I mean? We're in the dugout talking. So that's exactly how that works. But yeah. Hey, Jerry. What's up, girl? How you doing? Hope you're doing good. And I will also say this. This time frame is actually better for some people. I don't know if it's better for Jerry. I didn't say it because of her. But, like... Really? I didn't know that, ban everything. Wow, that's interesting. Sorry I went quiet there for a minute, guys. Again, guys, everything going on in my life, I'm having a hard time concentrating, and I do apologize. My squirreling is a little worse than what it typically is, but it's better than what it was 6 months ago. So I'll just say that. Now this is magnetic pressure, guys, and what you're looking at here is just the bouncing around. That's all that is. Magnetic pressure. Boop, 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 boop. There it goes. It's bouncing back and forth. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Anyway, so I'll just leave that at that. Now, so you get the bow shock here, and you can definitely see it. Now, we also run into the question, does our bow shock go down? I used to think that was actually what happens sometimes. But if you understand the model that we're looking at, our bow shock absolutely does not go down. Because if you understand what your bow shock, why your bow shock is even there, the two things that have to be, one of the two things that would have to go away is either solar wind, and the only way solar wind goes away is if the sun isn't there, okay? Or our magnetic field is completely gone. And either one of those is a very bad day for us. Okay? For a lot of us, it would be our last day if that ever happened. Just to be honest. Now, I'm not saying our bow shock, our magnetic field doesn't get pushed back really, really far. Okay? Because it does. But it doesn't, quote unquote, go down. I've seen a lot of people, a lot of videos. Matter of fact, I think when I first started doing my channel, I did a video with the title of that in it. And it was so embarrassing after I realized what I was saying that I think I might have even pulled it down like years later. I can't remember. I have to go back and see if it's even there. But, you know, regardless, I got that wrong. And I came out and told everybody once I figured it out. Now, this is showing you density only. And it's only showing you up to 4. This model doesn't show anything more than 4. Right? So if it's more than 4, this model is going to show as if it's all 4, right? So say you got 4 right here, and then on this side of it, you got 20. It's going to have the same color. So you're not going to see the bow shock on this model. It's going to look like it's not there. So coming over here and just looking at that and saying the bow shock's down because you can't see it is a mistake. Also, sometimes we push out hard enough sometimes that the bow shock actually goes off of the front page of the model here. So there's times you'll come over here and the whole thing will be white, completely white. That means that everything is very, very low density, and our bow shock most likely is pushed out here. We just can't see it. Other times you'll come over here to be dark blue. The whole thing will be blue because we're taking a really hard hit, and even inside our protection, the density is high. That's why. So we have to look at the speed. If you look at the speed, you look at the density and the magnetic pressure, one of these most likely is going to show you at least halfway where the bow shock is at. So I want you guys to understand that. It's important to know that. Because to think that the bow shock would go down, if you really think that out, you'll find yourself that you'll be surprised, like, oh my God, I can't even believe I thought that thing could go down. And, you know, I'm not saying that could never happen, because that's what happened to Mars. That's why Mars looks the way it does. Its magnetic field essentially just went kaput. Its atmosphere is gone, right? So, and it wouldn't be like just a snap of a finger and your atmosphere is gone. You know, your magnetic field would have to go down and stay down for a period of time. But, yeah. But again, if our magnetic field was to go down, there would be a reason for it. Okay? And I know that there's actually been a story of our core and how there was a paper that was just put out that the core of the Earth is actually like changing like shape. I don't know the whole story on that. I just seen a really quick clip of it, so I'm not going to speak on it. But that's really what causes our magnetic field to generate. It's the process inside of our core and how it relates to the surrounding crust and all that stuff. Everything's rotating in there. It generates a magnetic field. It's centralized, right? And that's why our magnetic field isn't lopsided one way. Yeah, our poles will move, but it really isn't technically lopsided to a massive, direction. So, let me do this. Because I really did think it was a great question about the coronal hole here, and, will it come back around? So let me address that real quick. Our equatorial region of the sun, okay, they rotate faster. The sun is not a rock, like I just was explaining, like we think the earth is, right? That's the most common, and I would say this too. We've never made it to the core of anything. So, but we also have to use our logic and what we do know. And the most logical conclusion is, obviously, our core, you got molten iron. I mean, there's a whole lot of things it's made up of. And there are ways to test for it, but the sun itself is not a rock. So the equatorial regions actually rotate faster than the pole regions. So you'll see, and you can actually see it if you were to, like, say if I cut this out, like crop the top here, and then crop the equatorial region, and put them side by side and ran them at the same time, two short little movies. I might do that just to show that to you in one of my future videos, because it wouldn't be hard to do. But you will clearly see the equatorial region of the sun moving faster than what the pole region does. When I say moving faster, I'm talking about speed. Okay? Degrees. It's moving more degrees around the sun's axis. Okay? And an axis is an imaginary line, just right down straight through the center of the sun. Now, when I say the ecliptic is actually the equator, imaginary line of the equator of the sun that gets stretched out infinitely into space. It's an imaginary line to give us a reference point to say, hey, Mars is above the ecliptic. Hey, Jupiter is below the ecliptic. Right? So, we'll just leave it at that. Now, let me, and again, guys, I'm sorry I'm here so late. It really does bother me. I hate that. But, it just is what it is. But anyway, this is Soho, and we did have a blast today here, guys. This is a CME that happened today. Well, I guess on the 11th. It's not really today, but yeah, you know what I'm saying. This is a physical disc on the imager. So let me show you where this satellite's at. Here's Earth, and it's right out in front of us, and it orbits on this line right in front of us. It's from our point of view. I also want to mention that over here on SDO here, well, not that, I'm sorry, Soho, because these are two different satellites, but they're from our point of view, our perspective, our line of sight to the sun. When I say that, that's what I mean. Our perspective. It is, if you went outside and looked up, that's what the goal of these satellite images are doing. They're trying to give you that same perspective. Plus, we have ones that give us other perspectives because they're in other spots in space. Right? So, with that being said, let's do this. I'm seeing some members in there. Guys, I'll be doing a members only right after this if you guys want to come hang out for a little while. Here in like less than, well, yeah, about 10 minutes. I'm going, as soon as I end this stream, guys, I'm starting that one up. I've already got it posted. So anyway, we are under a geomagnetic storm watch. We're expecting a geomagnetic storm on the 13th, late in the day, right here. Okay, this is the official forecast. Now I want to point something out here. Okay, if you look here, these are 3-hour increments, right? These are data plots. So you take a 3-hour average and they plot this bar. We measure geomagnetic storming by the KP index. G1, G2, on forward, right? If you got a 5, it's a G1. You got a 6 on the KP, it's a G2. So on and so forth, just like a thunderstorm warning system. All right? Now, if we come over here to their forecasting, you can see, and then you can always compare how close they got. Because most of the time, they're always going to be off a little bit. It's just so hard to get that 100% accurate. It's just not going to happen, guys. There's so many factors and keys here, and just our ability, our technology just isn't there to be able to give you a 100% forecast and be real confident in it. Now, I will say this, that they do get close almost every time now. Okay? So when we say it's a geomagnetic storm watch right here, they're saying a G1, which is very low. Now, we're going to be talking about increased aurora, maybe some small whatever's going on, right? Some upticks in some house issues. We do see upticks in like house fires and things like that during geomagnetic storming. We've actually lost Starlink satellites during launch, during a low-level storm before. But typically they'll go ahead and launch in those conditions. And that one time, well, it was actually twice. It wasn't just Starlink. It was that other company that's been putting satellites up there too. I can't remember what the company's called. Anyway, they both lost in the same, like 1 week to the other. We had G1 storms about a week apart, and both of them lost satellites. And you have to wonder, because they've launched in those conditions 1,000 times, guys. A G1 storm typically will not stop them from launching. But I think they're starting to rethink that because, you know, obviously something's changing, or that wouldn't be happening. And, you know, there's a lot of theories and what's going on with that, and I'm not going to talk about that tonight. I do have opinions on that, and I do share them. I'm not afraid to share them. It's not like that. I'm just saying it does take some explaining. But regardless, I guess the shortest way to say that would probably be to say that I do think our magnetic field is changing. We're seeing it in the data. You can't deny the data you look at. You know what I mean? So you shouldn't deny it. If it's there, you need to look at it and you need to address it, right? But with that being said, we will be getting a G1 storm. So anybody that gets any kind of aurora photography, please email it to me. I would love to see it. And if you want me to, I'll show it. Just give me permission. That's all you got to do in the email. I show them every time. Now, I don't expect it to be some big, massive aurora event. This is the aurora oval, guys. Okay, so let me push play here, and I'll do that. And what we're going to get a run here, and what's going to happen is it's showing you an increase there. So we can look at the time. So this morning we had an uptick here on the 11th. This is a really good indicator. Aurora is a very good indicator of how much solar weather we're getting. Because every time we get hit with solar wind, this will increase. Every time. Because stuff comes in easier on our poles, the highly charged particles come in, they interact with the molecules. That's what creates the aurora. So, and you'll also notice that it's not directly over our geographic North Pole. You know, the Barber Pole where Santa Claus lives? Our magnetic field is fluid. It moves. So magnetic north, if you were to kind of try to guess right here, you try to go to the center of that. And we know it's not exact. I get it, right? We know it's moving faster. We know it's on the move. We know all that. I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying the reason why the aurora oval's not directly over the pole is because our magnetic field is not centered on that pole. The actual geographic pole, okay? Now, magnetic pole, yeah. Wherever the positive or negative, I can't remember what the north is right now. I'd have to go look. But, yeah, it would be centered around our magnetic field, is what I'm trying to say. So, or close to it. You know, I guess that's probably the best way to say it. Okay, now, okay, so I will pop over here and let you guys know he's talking Dr. Tony Phillips. Please come over here to spaceweather.com. Awesome job the guy does. He's just an awesome person. I've never talked to him, but I can tell he's an awesome dude because he does such a great job over here. This is great stuff. They're talking about the lunar areolas versus coronas. This is basically it's a big ring around the moon. It's like a moon halo, right? We talk about sun halos all the time. This is kind of like a moon one. So it's like what are they calling here? The correct name is lunar areola, cousin to the better known lunar corona, right? So the sun, I just got through going over what the corona was in the sun. It's the atmosphere. But I'm not sure if it's actually, when we're talking about the moon, if we're talking about an atmosphere, because I know it doesn't have much of one, if any. I'm not really sure of how much of an atmosphere it has. I know we did find a while back, like 2 years ago, they actually did find like some oxygen molecules around the moon, which surprised them. So, yeah, that was a long time ago. So, and that's when everybody was talking about, hey, the moon's inside our atmosphere. Well, okay, you want to get technical? I don't know how much we can lean on that, but it would be at the very outer edge of it. But yeah, for all intents and purposes, I don't think it has an atmosphere. Not one that is consistent at all. Hey, Nana, thank you for the gifted memberships. Appreciate you. Check that out. Thank you for that. Really do appreciate that. Thank you for supporting. I really do appreciate that, guys. That's one of those things that, how can I say this? It humbles me. It just simply does. And that's just what I'm going to say from now on. It humbles me that you guys would do that. Honestly, every time I see it, I am floored every time. And it humbles me that anybody gets a membership at all. So, you're listening to some hillbilly talk about space weather. You know what I mean? I appreciate it more than I could ever express. So, especially right now in my life, yeah, I completely do. So thank you guys just for watching, period. And the best, please share. That's what I would say. And if you want to become a member, come laugh with us tonight, please do. That's what we're going to do here in just a few minutes. So thank you, Nana, for that. I really appreciate all you guys. Hey, John Boy, good to see you, bud. Wharton Thistle, what's up? Hey, guys, give me a little bit of a roll call in there as I go through this coronagraph stuff. Okay? So we're looking at Soho here. This is the 1 million miles closer to the sun than what we are. Jonathan, you're awesome, man. Wow, thanks, man. I really appreciate that. Wow, guys. Again, very humbled. Salute. Hey, J-Poss. What's up, bud? I hope you're getting... I missed the Marfugo show tonight, guys. I was exhausted, and I had to sleep. I literally was falling asleep standing up. It was rough. My body just shut down for a few hours. So I apologize for not being here earlier. But yeah, so thank you guys. But anyway, thank you, Jonathan and Nana, for that. That's so awesome. Anybody gets those, please come to the members only right after this. I'm going to start it here in like less than 10 minutes. So we're going to laugh. That's what we do over there. So anyway, so this is from the satellite 1 million miles closer to the sun. This is called Soho. Wow, what we got there? Guys, you guys are killing me here. Thank you. Wow. Thank you, Kathy. I appreciate that. So cool. You guys are I just don't even know what to say. I get emotional sometimes over that kind of stuff. Hey, Isaac. I mean, you guys really do. I mean, you guys just come through when things... Central Kentucky, Noodlehead, what's up? Let's see here. North Carolina. That's Isaac. I knew Isaac was from there. Yep, exactly, Jay. There you go, Jay. California, baby. Heck yeah. Hey, Sharon. And there's our brother Ron. I know he's in the old NC, baby, North Carolina. It's all right, brother. It's all good, man. I got you. I get it, man. I've had weird stuff like that happen. I had a really, yeah. Well, thank you, Jonathan. I love you back, and that's no kidding. I'm not even kidding when I say that. I got real love for you guys. The day that I have to walk away from this is going to be hard for me. Hopefully that's a long way from now, but, you know, it really will. It'll be extremely hard for me to walk away from all this. It's, yeah. Yeah. No, there you go, Callie. Hey, that's a good. You might try that, Ron. You can go to the App Store and re-download the app. It might let you do it if you do that, man. All right. So, guys, this is a blast that happened a few hours ago. Um, I'm not quite sure if it's coming at us. This could be off the backside or off the side. I do know we got some sunspots there. So what we're going to do, just real quick, like, I am going to change this to the 94 angstrom, because we can see flares and sunspots easier on this one. So let's take a look at that, and let's see what we get. Man, that's a long run, isn't it? I should have just went back like one day instead of 3. What a crazy, I should have done, yeah, that would have been a better option. But, okay, so here we are. Let's take it forward here. Oh, man, now I gotta let it download again. Okay, I can tell you right now that, did you guys see it? See, I'm gonna leave it right here for 1 second. I want you guys to look at something. Watch the whole screen flash. See that? Okay, watch. I'll do it again. Well, I gotta move it back a little further because it did it right as I hit play. Watch the whole thing flash. See that? There. There. A lot of times when you see that, that means that we've had some sort of a flare. Okay? Because what happens is, now the whole thing looked like it shook. That actually, you know, if the satellite gets impacted with solar weather, it can move. It shakes. It can shake it. So if we're getting hit, you'll see SDO do that from time to time. Plus, when you get a flare, even on the backside, it'll make this whole screen flash. It might not like flash like a big bright light, but you can see it kind of flicker. And it's important to know that, because that'll point you to activity. So let's take a look. Now you can see, now this is back like 3 days, guys. So I'm gonna, hey Kathy. You lost your daughter, Kathy? Oh my God. Did that just happen? Wow, if that just happened, Kathy, I am so sorry. Wow. That's horrible. Nobody should have to deal with that kind of thing. When it comes to our kids, we shouldn't be here without them. That sucks. I'm so sorry. Wow. Yeah, J Foss. Crazy, isn't it? My God. Just wow. Yeah. See? That kind of stuff puts stuff into perspective. Did that just happen? I would almost think that it would have to. Kathy, I am so sorry. Yeah. I'll tell you what. Stuff like that's happening. Guess what? This isn't important. I am so sorry, Kathy. I really am. I wish there was some way to get you a membership. I can't just like pick somebody out, and it won't let us do that. That way you can come over to the stream, members only stream. Wow, Kathy. Yeah. Man, that's hard. That's hard. Just prayers for you. That's all. I guess that's the best I can do. I don't. Yeah. Well, let me finish this up real quick, okay, guys. Anyway, so we got. God, that sucks, man. I am so sorry, Kathy. Wow. Okay. Anyway, we had a blast at what time was it? Let's see here. Right around 1900 UTC. Remember, guys, I use UTC, which is a universal time. That's based off of England. So if you're on the East Coast, it's a 4-hour difference. So when you look at this time, that's what that's going off of. All right. So let's go to that time frame. Right there. You see this right here? Watch. You see the time frame? There's your eruption. So it's not going to come at Earth. We might catch a glancing blow from that, but most likely not. Looks like we had another one on this side, and that happens often. About 180 degrees from one big eruption, sometimes you'll see another one. Plus, you'll get stuff in between that gets destabilized that can cause others. So I'll just say that. Wow, Kathy. Oh, man. I just feel like I need to just end this. I don't think it's appropriate to keep moving. And just out of respect. Yeah. I think that's what I'm going to do, guys. I just want to make sure you guys know that ain't coming at us. And I will say, we got a geomagnetic storm coming. They're forecasting it tomorrow night. We could get more. You can see the flaring happening. And right now we're taking a hit that nobody had forecasted. Okay? Because we're right here in time frame. They said a 2 or a 3 for this one. We're actually a little bit above that. A little bit more, we would be in storm level. So let's look at the 30-minute one here real quick. This is a 30-minute data point. So yeah, it does look like we're kind of coming down a little bit. Believe it or not, guys, we did get to a G1 for like 30 minutes just a few hours ago. But it's not an official storm unless it stays there for 3 hours. So I just wanted to make sure we were clarified on that. But hey, Anna, what's up? Oh, okay. Hey, BK. Well, thank you, Callie. I appreciate that. I just am who I am. Oh, okay. Okay. I got you. I got you. All right. We're good. Okay. That's a little bit better. I mean, yeah, we don't want anybody passing away, if I'm understanding the chat now. Thank you for telling me to read the chat. Whoever did. I can't. Yeah. When stuff like that happens, my mind just gets jacked, guys. Okay. I see. I see. Okay. All right. Yeah, okay. Okay, that's... Okay, yeah. Anyway, I think we're at a point where we're going to end this anyway. I was wrapping it up anyway. But, guys, I'm going to go straight over after I end this real quick, and we're going to do a members only, okay? So, no, it's okay, Kathy. I just misunderstood how that was worded. So, just so you know, okay? It's not your fault. It's just the way that it was worded. It seemed as though yeah. Anyway, here we go. Let's go ahead and yeah, we'll end on this image here. I'll push play, and we'll go ahead and end on this image right here. And I'll see you guys in like 5 minutes on the other live stream. if you're a member. Anybody, guys, please share this out. Like I said, guys, it's one of those things that I hate streaming at this hour. I know, like Jay Poss is on the California. He's on the other side of the country than I am, so it's not as bad for him. But it's still late even for him right now, I would think. But okay, all right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end it. So God bless. Yahusha saves. Well, another one. Well, thank you, Kathy. I appreciate that. There's another one. There you go. Thank you, Kathy. Another one. That's awesome. Thank you. You too, Jen. Good to see you. Again, God bless. Yahusha saves. And, yeah, you can drink.